Hey y'all, welcome back to the Team King Project. I've been wanting to do this video to do a little archaeology or car-chaeology, if you will. That's my new word. Use it if you want. Archaeology on the car. It's very interesting to me. It may or may not be interesting to you, but this is a 1969 Chevy Camaro, which means it's what, 51, 52 years old. Talk about the archaeology of the heads, and I'll roll in this video. I'll just roll it now. Me and Leo taking the valve cover off and just looking at the heads for the very first time. One more to go.
Yeah, because it's cold.
Alright, so pull on that. Look at you.
Whoa.
You're strong.
Yeah, because I can do things and stuff.
You can do things and stuff.
But I can't sit by myself because I'm full.
Alright.
There's the gas.
Yep. Well, no, that's where you put the oil.
Yeah, it's the oil. Oh, a gas cover. I'm just pretending.
It's kind of stuck, Leo.
Yeah. Let me try.
You want to pull on that? Hang on. You can't reach it just yet.
Because I'm kind of
It's loose now, Leo.
loose.
Let's reveal.
Let's see if it's going to lie. Why?
Oh, stuck down there.
No.
We're going to have some gaskets to clean up, I think, Leo.
Yeah. Why is it so stuck? It's so stuck.
It's got gaskets. They get stuck.
But I think it just got some glue.
Yeah, it's kind of like glue.
Oh, screws.
There we go. Yeah. Uh-huh.
The oil. Wow. That is awesome.
I'll give you a tour in just a second, buddy.
You gotta take it all off.
There we go.
There you go.
Look at that. Let's just take a look around, Leo. These blue things, see them? They're called rocker arms. And these happen to be roller rockers.
Roller rockers.
Roller rockers.
Whoa.
Okay? And down here,
Rocker.
see this spring down here? And this spring?
Yeah.
Those are called valve springs.
But I don't think they come up.
They go up and down, up and down, up and down. And the rocker arms, they go rocking back and forth like a rocking chair. And they have push rods. And
But how will we see that?
oil. There's a lot of oil it has.
How will we see that?
See what? You want to see them go up and down?
Yeah.
Well, we could. We'd have to start the engine with the valve cover off, but you know what happens then? Oil squirts out.
Oh.
And then we make a mess. The mystery is solved. Our double hump heads, if you can see.
I can see.
Double hump heads.
I don't think we can reach it with this whole thing.
And they are version 462. And we're going to look up what 462 double hump heads means, but I think, Leo, they were born somewhere between 1962 and 1968. Okay, so we're going to take
Some
all
of
those
them.
numbers, and we're going to find out when these, hopefully when these heads were born, and we're going to find out things about the valves and the size of the valves for the intake and the exhaust. This is going to be fun to explore, Leo. The heads, we talked, you saw in the video we rolled in camel hump heads, okay? That's the two little humps on the front of the head. Double hump heads are called double hump, camel hump, and they're also called Fuley heads, Fuley. And that's because they were first introduced, or not first introduced, but they were introduced on the 1962 327 cubic inch Corvette with fuel injection. That was Rochester mechanical fuel injection for the Corvette. And since then, one of the names, or one of the nicknames these heads have gotten that I'm using are Fuleys, or Fuley heads, or I just call them double humps. Now, a lot of racers use those. They're period correct from the 60s. You can get better heads today. I can get better heads to put on this car, but I don't want them because I can't get a cooler head. All right, the double hump from the 60s is a cool head. I like that. These are so good. In fact, the performance is so good. In fact, Trick Flow, a company that makes heads or makes engine parts, now makes a version of these double humps with the humps on them. They make an aluminum version that you can actually paint orange, and they'll then look stock. But these particular heads on this car have no accessory hose. You can't bolt anything on them, which means they were made before 1969. In 1969, the camel humps had accessory holes drilled into them so you could attach things to them, like air conditioning compressors or what have you, alternators or whatever. But these don't have them. So in 1966, and the reason we know they're 1966, like I said, we know they're before 1969 because they have no holes drilled into the face of them or the front of them as you're looking at the car. With the casting number that's on the head inside, once you take the valve cover off, there's also date casting on the heads, okay? The driver's side was date cast H206, passenger side was H126 and H206. All right. So the way they did the coding on the date codes back in the 60s, the first letter, in this case the H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, was the 8th month. Okay. So in this case, August. So we know these heads were born in August. The second two numbers, the day in August they were born. The passenger side was August 12th. The driver's side was August 20th. It's close enough that it's possible that these were both used on one engine in the 60s, but I don't know. They could have come on two different engines for all I know. There's no way to know that. But the last number, 6, in both of these date codes, which means that they were cast in 1966. Okay, so we know these heads were born in August of 1966. Now, the reason you want to know this kind of thing is, or the reason I want to know this kind of thing is, I'm kind of traced back where these heads may have come from originally, or what they might have been on. The best I can tell, because they're cast in 1966, most likely they were on a 327 cubic inch engine. Okay, these heads came in two different versions of valves. One was a 1.94 inch intake with a 1.5 exhaust, and that would have been the 275 horsepower version, I think. And then there was the higher performance 2.02 intake with the 1.60 exhaust valves. Okay, so yes, I could take these heads off, flip them over, and see what size valves they are, which would then narrow down that they either came on a 327 high performance 350 horsepower Nova, Chevy 2 Nova, or Corvette. according to the Chevrolet Small Block V8 ID Guide, which, as you know, you go online, you have these authorities that will write things, and then in the comments, people will argue about, no, you're not right about this, you're not right about that. But the Chevrolet Small Block V8 ID Guide says that all of the 462 castings were 64cc, which is the combustion chamber, except for the 67 casting, which I don't have, which had a 66cc combustion chamber. Now that combustion chamber, again, is you take the head, you flip it over, and it has a chamber there where the valves are. You can actually measure how much volume that combustion chamber holds. Chances are these are 64cc combustion chambers, according to this, and that these heads were used, or may have been used, on the 67 302 Z28 engine, or the 327 passenger cars I've already spoken about, with the 2.02 intake and 1.6 inch exhaust valves. Alright, that's a lot of techno gobbledygook, and I hope I didn't completely goof that up, but hopefully you've gotten something out of that to help you with maybe understanding what you have if you have double hump heads on your classic car, or just put some interesting historical facts in your head about what's cool about classic cars and classic engines. Now, I'll say this too, on this car, when it was built, I have the build sheet. I know that Long Engines in Maryland did the work, and they also did a valve job on these valves for me. They shaved the heads by 0.01 inch, or 1/100th of an inch. Now you remember me saying that the lifter's tolerance that I have in this car is 0.002 to 0.004. How did that affect that tolerance? Well, I don't really know without taking it all apart and measuring things. But they also put in 16 hardened guides, cut them down and honed them to size. They put in 943X high performance springs. The 943X high performance springs would be the spring that was put on the 67 to 69 302 Z28 engine, so they are also called Z28 springs. So they're high performance springs, although you can get stiffer springs. These heads would originally come with rocker studs that were pressed in to the head. These have been shaved, tapped, and drilled in. Okay, so I've got rocker studs that are actually screwed into the head. They're not just pressed in. Okay. So that's what I know about these heads. There is one other, you want to get nitty gritty with these things, and I'll show you in a picture, maybe I'll roll it in, but there's a casting clock put on these heads. It's just like a circle of dots with a 0, and with a little pointer to one of those circles of dots, and it'll tell you what time of day they were actually cast on those two dates, August 12th or August 20th of 1966. Is that important to know? Probably not, unless you want to know, was it done first thing in the morning when the casting guy was fresh, or was it after lunch when he had 3 margaritas or something? I don't know. I don't know. It's just an interesting piece of information. Alright, the engine in this car is engine casting is 3970010. That's the block. 3970010. I think I'm about to get a visitor here from my assistant Leo, who's part of Team King.
I'm not tired anymore.
You're not tired anymore? You want to get up here and talk with the camera? Let me help you out. We'll get you up here, get you on your perch. Okay, buddy. Get your stabilizers out. Alright, on to the car. On the cow tag. Can you read that again?
3B.
3B. Okay, field A. Alright, these cow tags, you gotta decode them, okay? But I'll just go through what each one of these means on my car. Maybe I'll roll something in and show you what it looks like to decode these. I think I found that on, it's one of the Camaro research group, CRG, I think. I'll put the link down there in the description if you've got a Camaro and you want to decode your stuff. But it's pretty cool. You can learn things about what was originally on the car using your cow tag decode and your VIN decode. All right, and I'm going to run through those real quick. Okay, so field A in here is 03B, which is the second week of March. So this car was built during the second week of March in 1969. Okay, so we know its birthday. I told you, it's archaeology, it's kind of fun. Field C, body style code 69-12437. That tells me that it's a coupe, obviously, with a standard interior. Okay, so they had 2 or 3 different versions of interior. They had a standard and I think they called it deluxe, which had some nicer door panels and a couple other things. And then they had different types of seats and stuff. But this one has a standard interior. Field D, assembly plant code NOR. What's that say? Can you read it?
NOR.
NOR. Can you read those numbers?
220.
4109?
4109.
Okay, I have no idea what that means. But I know what the NOR means. Hang on, buddy, with your legs. The NOR means Norwood, Ohio. So we know this car was born now in Norwood, Ohio. Okay? Now, where it gets really interesting. Field E. Trim code. What's that number?
727.
727 or 727. Trim code, interior trim code 727, ivory black is what it says. Ivory/black, which means the original seats and door panels and sail panels and stuff in this car were white, or what they called ivory. And then, of course, the rest of the dash and the carpet and the headliner, all that business was black. So the car originally had a white interior, right? Field F, exterior paint code 10. EPNT, okay, TENP, which was tuxedo black. This car, out of the factory, was a black car, what they call tuxedo black with white interior. Kind of cool to know, right? It's currently black, and as you know, if you've watched my videos, it's got black door panels and sail panels and stuff, carpet, and we've put refinished the back seat and houndstooth, and the front seats are, of course, Recaro houndstooth. Are you okay, buddy? You got a little headroom issue. Okay, what's cool about that tuxedo black? So what? A lot of cars are black. Not Camaros in 1969. In fact, 0.6%, only 0.6% of Camaros in 1969 for all Camaros, 0.6% of 1969 Camaros were tuxedo black. Okay, and I think they made somewhere around, and I'm going to throw this number out. I'm going to get it wrong because I don't. Maybe I'll put it down in the link, or you can find it in the other link I want to show you. They made somewhere around 200 and somewhere between 230, 250,000 Camaros that year. But only 0.6%, 0.6, not 6, 0.6, just over 0.5% were tuxedo black. Okay, and the least impressive thing we learned on the cow tag, field G, body related option codes, X44 means, sorry, you're not a Super Sport and you're not a Z28. Of course, you're not a Rally Sport either. So we know it was a base model car. and we can further get into that with the VIN code, because the VIN code tells me that the original engine in this car was a 307 cubic inch engine, and it had a 3-speed manual transmission. Okay, and if you know anything about Camaros, you know that the Z28 or the Super Sport did not come with 307 or a 3-speed manual transmission. The 302, of course, came with the the Z28, of course, came with the 302 with a 4-speed, and the Super Sport came either with a 350. Or it came with a 350 or a 396. This car also came with a 308 rear end. It's since been upgraded in the past to 3.31 ratio differential. Okay, so the VIN code tells me that it's a base price of $2,711. Gross weight, 3,050 pounds. That would have been empty. Of course, you know, cars don't come with gasoline. Fuel tank, speaking of gasoline, was 18 gallons. The displacement in this car, or the engine size in this car, when it was originally rolling off the assembly line and sold wherever it was sold, was a 307 cubic inch with a 3-speed manual transmission. And by the way, back in the day, one of my first cars was a 69 Camaro. When I got it, it had the original 307 with a 2-barrel 3-speed dog. Okay, I upgraded that one to a 327 out of an Impala, and it was a pretty good engine. All right, that is all my notes. And Leo here, I appreciate your help coming in to help read some of those notes off to the camera. Can you say hi to the camera, by the way?
Hi.
Okay, I think that's the Car-chaeology that I got here. It's still black. It's been repainted, of course. It's got a cowl induction hood that came on the Z28 in 1969.
All of them on there.
Yeah, we can get them all on there. Maybe we'll put them on the steering wheel. You can make them go up and down. And it's got the Z28 stripes on it. I'm not trying to build a Z28 tribute car. It has no Z28 badges. I'm not trying to make a car that's completely original. What you'd call this car, to me, is a family project that, I guess in the parlance of the industry or the classic car industry, it's a resto mod. Okay, so it's a restoration, modernized with some modernized stuff. We've got a lot of family projects planned for it. First order of business is get it back into running order so we can just have fun driving it around, because we really do want to drive it. And it's not what you'd call a daily driver, but it is something we like to go on rides in and have fun. Thanks for hanging around. I hope you enjoyed the historical lesson on our '69 Camaro project car. At least I enjoyed it. We enjoy it. We enjoy looking, finding out things about the car. And more than that, we like driving it. So we'll get it put back together and get it on the road. See y'all next time.
Peace out.
Peace out.